This is a job today. We're just going to be taking off these scotias quickly, and we're going to be replacing them with new ones. They're custom made. We had to get them milled, and they're made out of jarrah to make them long lasting. So we're going to show you how that's done today. So the first thing we do is we start by just removing them. We're going to start taking them off the post. They're pretty old and haggard, so they come across pretty easily. We're going to clean off all the old silicone and no more gaps, and we're going to take out the old rusted nails. Now, if they didn't come out, we would angle grind those down so that they were still in the post, but they wouldn't interfere. We're going to measure both sides and check the measurements. We want to get the biggest measurement from those two because the posts aren't square. And on the other sides, the shorter sides, we have to allow a little bit extra, again, because of the lack of squareness. I actually did run my set squares down there and marked the pillars to make sure that I got the right angles. Now, once we've got that, and we've got the sides all marked, and we've measured those sides, we're going to go to the cutting saw. Here we're just going to measure each piece and cut them. I used the set square to make sure that they were exact. And then I actually marked the angle because when I was using the drop saw with the pencil mark, I knew to cut to the outside of the pencil mark to get an exact size. That's the best way to do it. And as you can see, my blade's a little bit blunt. It's been blunt for a while, so you get all the smoke. Now, after I've cut them, you'll see I switch over the miter and I cut it the opposite way because that gives me, again, the miter, the exact same miter to start cutting from, but it also saves me a lot of wood, so I don't have a lot of offcuts. I've only got a tiny little piece. So now we're coming back to the pillar, and we're going to set out everything neatly around the pillar so that we can check the measurements. That's really all we're doing here, is checking the measurements, making sure that it all fits in place. And once I'm satisfied that's okay.
Yep, looks all right to me.
Then we'll move on to the next section. And the top right corner you will see, I am just show you one from way to go at double speed. Whereas on this one it's a bit slow. You can see the one I've just put the miter in, and I'm going to shoot the top there. I did actually put what's called quick nails in there. It's a quick setting. It's like liquid nails, only it's a white and it sets quicker. Now I'll put that in between each joint for two reasons. If there's any movement, the stuff that's squished out, I can then just rub in and completely close that joint so it's completely waterproof. It also binds the joints together nice and tight because it is a liquid nails product. It's not a silicone product, so it is a wood glue. So we've done two of the miters, the two back miters, which gives us our two sides. We're putting in the little piece in the middle now, which is the wood that's going to block water from falling down that middle and intruding. We cut this very tight, and the little bits of previous silicone stop me from lifting it up because above that area is painted. So now I'm going to tap it down flat with the top of the scotia, and I will put in two brad nails. So that's going to stop it from dropping. So that's now in place. We can look to the other side. Again, we check where it's sitting, because obviously with the post being out, you have to find out where your square is going to go around everything. Once I'm satisfied with where it is, Again, I'll put a bit of liquid nails in the corners. But before I do that, I'm just going to put a second brad nail in the miters, because I've got it where I want now, and I don't want those miters to open up as I'm going. So I'm going to put a second brad nail to hold them firm. And that'll hold them nice and together. Otherwise they tend to open up, and then you've got to put more liquid nails in there because you lose that bond. I'm using the liquid nails on the back piece. I'll put it on both miters this time and put it in place. Again, I'm doing exactly what I did on the front. I'm going to line up the tops, the top edge, and I'm going to put a little nail through there on both sides. And then if I need to, I put my chisel under the scotia to bring it up and close those miters. And I'll be pushing them together and making sure they all sit nice and flat. You can see the liquid nails slightly oozing out. That's what we want. We only want a little bit oozing out. After we've done that, we'll wipe it down, because that liquid nails isn't like normal normal gaps. It does tend to set pretty quickly because it's quick nails, fast acting. So we'll wipe it down. And now we're working on that middle bit. We're going to try and bring it up a bit so that we can nail it. Normally I like to start a little higher, but on this one the paint was stopping it. So we put in the 2 brad nails there. So that's now in place, that's not going to move. I'm going to finish this off now with the liquid nails. I'm actually using liquid nails around it. You can use no more gaps around it. Because these are getting painted, it doesn't matter, the paint will create a seal. But I found the nails gave you a harder, stronger finish, but you have to be good with silicone to use it, because if it goes everywhere, it's going to be very hard to clean off. The chisel was purely to square off the liquid nails, and that's what you end up with the finished product. You can see it oozing out. Nice, tight miters. So I hope you enjoyed this, and like and subscribe if you did, and I will see you on the next video. Till then, see you later.